Everybody wants to be a billionaire. True, it's an experience filled with immense wealth and influence, particularly in key industries that drive the country's economy. But what's it like to be one in countries aside from the US and European countries, say Mexico, for instance? Today, I'll take you inside the lives of a few Mexican billionaires and how they keep doing what they do best, being billionaires. Carlos Slim. Carlos Slim Elu, one of the most prominent billionaires in Mexico, has a net worth that's equivalent to about 6% of Mexico's gross domestic product. His fortune comes from a vast array of holdings in numerous sectors, including telecommunications, education, healthcare, industrial manufacturing, and more. Slim, often hailed as the Midas of Mexico, isn't your typical billionaire with a garage full of flashy cars or a closet bursting with designer suits. Nope. He prefers to keep it simple. He's got a deep love for his homeland and pours his heart, his soul, and, considerable cash into businesses and charities that make a difference, rather than splurging on the latest yacht. Now let's talk about his net worth. Carlos is sitting pretty on a mountain of money that would make even the richest Aztec emperors blush. We're talking $99.5 billion. To put that in perspective, if his bank account were a country, it would be wealthier than some nations. But don't expect him to wave those billions around. He's more about nurturing culture and keeping his life under wraps than broadcasting his bank statements. So while he might not be snapping selfies with stacks of cash or making it rain in the clubs, Carlos Slim Elu is busy being the quiet guardian of his country's economy, one smart investment at a time. And who knows, maybe he's got a secret superhero cape hidden somewhere in that modest wardrobe of his. Now, where does a billionaire like Carlos hang his hat? Not in some over-the-top palace, but in a cozy 6-bedroom villa in Lomas de Chapultepec, Mexico City. It's the same neighborhood where he grew up, and he's been calling it home for over 40 years. As for how he makes his money, Carlos has been raking it in from a string of industries in telecommunications, real estate, retail, you name it. But his golden goose has been América Móvil, one of the largest telecom companies in the world, and Telmex, the former national telephone monopoly. Slim has been in the game since the mid-1960s, turning businesses around faster than you can say cha-ching. Carlos is the king of the castle. Or should I say castles. He owns over 20 shopping centers, including a cool 10 in Mexico City alone. And let's not forget the Duke Siemens Mansion in New York City, a whopping 19,000 square feet of pure history and luxury that he snagged for $44 million and then nearly sold for double. Talk about flipping houses. But what does a day in the life of this billionaire look like? Well, it's not all counting cash and laughing maniacally. Carlos is a family man at heart. Despite being busier than a bee in a field of flowers, he makes sure to reserve his evenings for his 6 children and a bunch of grandkids. He is the kind of guy who would rather teach his kids the value of a peso than hand them a silver spoon, and he'd rather invest in a good conversation than a flashy new suit. Carlos's most notable piece of infrastructure, Museo Somaya, is a gleaming gem in Mexico City. Named after his late wife, it's a free public museum that showcases a staggering collection of over 66,000 works. From ancient Mesoamerican sculptures to European old masters and modern art giants like Rodin and Dali, it's a cultural feast for the eyes. The museum's architecture is a marvel too, with its shiny, hexagonal aluminum tiles and unique shape that changes appearance with the light and angle. It's not just a museum, it's a statement of art, culture, and accessibility, open every day to inspire and educate visitors from all walks of life. But apart from building museums, how does Slim spend his money? Well, Carlos is the antithesis of the spendthrift billionaire. He likes channeling his wealth into philanthropy, with a particular focus on health, education, and of course the arts. His foundations have been instrumental in growing the human, cultural, and economic capital of Mexico, supporting more than 165,000 young people in attending university, paying for numerous surgeries, and providing equipment for rural schools. He's the kind of guy who sees money as a tool for improvement, not just for himself, but for the world at large. Carlos Slim Elu, part real estate tycoon, part loving grandpa, and full-time business maestro. He's living proof that you can have your cake, sell it at a profit, and still be home in time for dinner with the family. Now, that's what I call a well-balanced diet. Now, another Mexican billionaire who knows how to have a balanced diet is none other than Velasco. Germán Velasco. Germán Larrea Mota Velasco, the mining magnate with a knack for the nitty-gritty of minerals, leads a life that's as private as the hidden treasures he digs up. But when he's not overseeing the extraction of copper and silver, you can find him in the stables, breeding champion racehorses with names that sound like they belong in a fantasy novel. It's this blend of earth and turf that's bolstered his bank account to a hefty $33.4 billion. Now, don't let the term tycoon fool you. Germán's the kind of guy who'd rather spend a quiet evening watching his horses gallop than patrolling at glitzy galas. His horses aren't just old nags, they're the creme de la creme of the racing world. His favorite mare, La Trusca, is a legend on hooves, making history by winning big in the States after racing in Mexico. Germán's empire, Grupo México, is a big name in the mining industry, and it's not just about copper. They've got their hands in everything, from infrastructure to rail transportation. Under his watchful eye, the company's expanded its reach across borders, making it a global powerhouse. It's his main moneymaker, being Mexico's largest mining corporation and the third largest copper producer in the world. Germán Larrea Mota Velasco isn't one to trumpet his academic laurels, but he's got them all right. He's got a bachelor in business administration from Jennings University and a certificate from the Global Leadership Program at Thunderbird School of Global Management. He's also got an undergraduate degree from Universidad Anahuac, Mexico Sur. Now, where does a man of such mineral might reside? In the heart of Mexico City, where the streets are as lively as the markets he dominates. But don't think he's confined to one locale. Oh no, he's got a taste for the international, with a 520-acre ranch in Santa Fe, New Mexico, a penthouse in New York City, and a mansion in Beverly Hills, worth a cool $35 million. That's what you call a global footprint. But Germán isn't one to put all his eggs in one basket. He's diversified like a pro, with interest in railways and transport infrastructure through Mexico Transportes. And he's even got a stake in the print media with the Mexican newspaper Reforma. He's been at the helm of Grupo México since 1994, steering the ship through the mineral-rich waters for nearly 3 decades. When it comes to his private life, Germán is as private as they come. He's not one to spill the beans on his personal affairs, preferring the quiet comfort of his Mexico City home over the limelight. His social life? Well, if he's not at some top-secret board meeting, he's probably enjoying the company of his family, keeping things low-key and intimate. We know this because family is where Germán's heart is. He's a family man through and through, with his children following in his footsteps of maintaining a discreet profile. And how does he spend his money? Well, Germán's not one to make it rain pesos just for the heck of it. He's got a philanthropic side, channeling funds into education, housing, and health services in communities where his mines operate. He's also known for promoting sustainable mining practices, aiming to minimize environmental impact and support local well-being. So while his days might be filled with copper and coins, his heart is definitely lined with a bit of gold. Speaking of gold, Mexico sure has a lot of mines. But this is not where the next billionaire gets his own stash from. Ricardo Pliego. Meet Ricardo Salinas Pliego, the retail and media maestro. This billionaire embarked on his entrepreneurial voyage right at Electra, a family gem that's been shining since his great-grandfather's era. Ricardo didn't just climb the ladder, he practically built a new one, transforming Elektra from a modest furniture store into a retail giant that caters to the aspirations of the lower middle class. His journey from the shop floor to the top floor has seen his net worth swell to an impressive $12.9 billion, making him one of Mexico's most influential figures. But Ricardo's not just a guy with a knack for selling sofas and sound systems. He's got the academic chops too. With a degree in accounting from the Instituto Tecnológico y de Estudios Superiores de Monterrey, or ITESM, and an MBA from Tulane University. He's the kind of guy who can crunch numbers and craft strategies with the best of them. Now let's talk about the empire he's built. Grupo Elektra is the crown jewel, a retail and banking conglomerate that's more than just a business. It's a lifeline for millions who rely on it for everything from household appliances to financial services. And then there's TV Azteca, the television titan that brings drama, news, and entertainment into living rooms across the nation. Ricardo has been in the game since 1987, turning Elektra into a financial powerhouse and making TV Azteca a household name. But that's not all. Ricardo's real estate portfolio is as diverse as the products on Elektra's shelves. He's got stakes in commercial and residential properties that would make Monopoly Man green with envy. And his daily itinerary is a mix of board meetings, strategy sessions, and a quick check-in at one of his many stores. But despite the packed schedule, he always finds time for family, because for Ricardo, wealth is nothing without loved ones to share it with. Home for Ricardo is where the heart is, and that's in Mexico City. Salinas Pliego leads a private family life, married to Maria Laura Medina, and is a father of 6 children. His family is progressively involved in the family business, with his daughter, Ninfa Salinas Sada, having served as a senator in Mexico. Pliego values his family time and maintains a close-knit relationship with his loved ones. And how does he spend his money? Pliego, with a fortune that's more than just pocket change, has some possessions that are the stuff of dreams. At the top of the list is his majestic Casa Mixteca in Huatulco, which boasts its own private beach and a price tag that's as grand as the property itself. This luxurious estate is a blend of Mexican colonial style with modernist elements, featuring large windows, handcrafted finishes, and a sprawling palapa. This is a place where Ricardo gets to sip a margarita and forget that the world exists. And when he's not at his luxurious estate, Salinas Pliego enjoys sailing on his multi-million-dollar yacht. He's the kind of guy who understands that sometimes the best deals are made over a handshake on the deck, with the ocean as your witness. He's established foundations focused on improving the social well-being of Hispanic communities, including Fundación Azteca, which addresses social issues in healthcare, nutrition, education, and environmental protection. His spending reflects his commitment to philanthropy and his belief in using wealth to make a positive impact on society. He also supports over 40 social initiatives through various foundations, demonstrating his dedication to social causes. But the last billionaire on our list is a guy who's totally gonna blow the lid off the steam. Alejandro Gual. That's Alejandro Bayer Gual, a scion of the storied Bayer dynasty. As of the latest figures, Alejandro's fortune gleams at an estimated $8.5 billion, a proof of his role as the president of Grupo Bal, the conglomerate that's a veritable atlas of wealth with stakes in mining, insurance, and pension funds. Alejandro's academic journey took him to the hallowed halls of Stanford University, where he polished his business acumen to a shine. But he didn't only rest on the laurels of a degree. He further sharpened his executive skills with an executive program at Stanford in 2000, ensuring his leadership would be as cutting-edge as the industry he commands. Residing in the heart of Mexico City, Alejandro controls a myriad of business ventures that resonate across the country's economic landscape. He's at the helm of Industrias Peñoles, the world's top silver producer, and the luxury department store Grupo Palacio de Hierro. His tenure in the family business began in earnest in 1996 as an advisor to the chairman, and since then, he's ascended to the zenith of the corporate ladder, becoming the chief executive in 2006 and continuing the Bayer legacy of prosperity and influence. Alejandro's real estate portfolio is a proof of his business acumen, featuring a collection of commercial and residential properties, shopping malls, office buildings, and luxury hotels that would make any real estate mogul envious. When it comes to his private life, Alejandro prefers to keep things discreet, focusing on his family and their shared interest. The Bayer family shares a passion for horses, with a world-class breeding program that's produced multiple successful racehorses. They also have a strong commitment to philanthropy, supporting initiatives related to education, health, and culture in Mexico through their foundation, Fundación Grupo Bal. As a member of the Asociación Mexicana de Cultura, it's likely that he enjoys attending art exhibitions, musical performances, and other cultural events. Alejandro and his family enjoy the arts, with an impressive art collection that showcases their appreciation for fine arts. They also indulge in the luxury lifestyle, known to cruise on lavish yachts in some of the world's most exclusive destinations. However, despite their wealth, the Bayer family's spending reflects their commitment to using their resources to make a positive impact on society, with a focus on philanthropy and social responsibility. Moreover, given his family's known interest in horse breeding and racing, it wouldn't be surprising if he also shares this passion, enjoying the thrill of the race and the elegance of these magnificent animals. Whether it's indulging in the cultural scene or spending time at the racetrack, Alejandro Bayer Gual's lifestyle reflects his refined taste and his family's legacy. And that's how far we go on today's video of what it's like to be a billionaire in Mexico. Which of these men inspires you the most? Kindly leave your thoughts in the comment section. And don't hesitate to like, subscribe to our channel, and share this video. See you next time.